But for now, this is looking like a very nice setup from X Finest. The only problem is Ecstatic are actually perfectly countering it. Kraken also winning that duel is amazing. It's kind of pulled the rotations a little bit further away, and it's given them the man advantage. Snacks was already playing retake towards the B bomb site. Now they're at a man disadvantage. It's going to make it increasingly more difficult. X Finest, I say you save this, to be honest.
Yeah.
You save
Snacks
this, to be
even
honest.
lurking on CT side as well. But then outside of the bomb site, not contesting. I mean, if you're the only one over at B, you have to give that up. But X-Finest, what they're doing is keeping themselves in tone. It's a 4v5, and it would have been overzealous to go for this, but Kraken, he's still infiltrating, and this is exactly what Ecstatic have to do. They can't let it get to their heads and think, okay, we won the round, and that's it, right? They're continuing up on their play. Kraken pushes through, he loses his life, but it's about the motto. It's about the idea behind it, and that's still good enough for Ecstatic, who will now get their 6th. They'll still be far beyond a comeback position, because especially with X-Finest saving over, you'll have a contestation next round and the round thereafter, and then the loss bonus is going to set in. It's an uphill battle the entire way.
Yeah, and like X-Finest still are playing. Like if you just look at it's still like comparing the scores, like Manx the second highest or the third highest fragger is the same as the lowest fragger for X-Finest. Like you compare the scoreboards and they just always go in favor of X-Finest. To be fair, you do have Kraken, who's had a really consistently quite impressive game. And that's another really good start, actually. Double AWP out. Pleasant already being tagged. Salazar with a nice little I Power Hollow on the scope, but it doesn't matter when Twist is just aiming and spraying you down as you're running out of long. Ecstatic, they have to get luck. You know, so for X Finest, you kind of just have to get lucky once. You kind of have to have a Twist who just holds a spray down through long doors and gets 2, and then the AWPers just farmhouse towards middle. That is perfection. Ecstatic, they do still have money in the bank, for instance, 2 more buys. The only problem is now is that you've just slow your chances of getting slimmed. It's like exactly, you only just need one round like this where you almost like, I think it's fair to say, you just get lucky where Choice just holds a spray and they just decide to walk in front of you. But we've been talking about skins quite a lot, Hytheria. If you do want to pick up some of yourself, make sure to head over to BitSkins, our partners for the CCT tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not the start you want.
And Queenix is going to run into a fancy little surprise as well, and
it's not going well.
This is what I'm talking about. As soon as X-Finest, or I say I'm talking about it as if you were preaching the comeback, but I mean we've both been on the pretty same line of as soon as X-Finest get those guns in order, it's looking dire for Ecstatic.
I think it's just like it's unrealistic. I think in a position like this, like this has been. That CT, that T side was so like it just felt like the gun rounds. I was like, I just know what's happening. Like, and it was also just how clinical everyone was. Like, even Snacks, who's going negative right now, was just running around killing people. Hades 22-8. Realistically, what can you do about that? And he's still playing a very passive position. I think this is what I was saying. Is like he's not necessarily quite inherently an aggressive AWPer, and he has sometimes had flares of aggression, but by and large, he hasn't. You know, he's not aggression, non-aggressive person, and it's actually helping non-aggressive person, and it's actually helping non-aggressive person, and it's actually helping non-aggressive person, and it's actually
helping. Continuously, those things happening is going to be 2v4 with Manx getting the first frag. And also down low. Manx takes so much damage due to the molly, and Snacks will go chasing down. Kraken hasn't even got the bomb down. He's already getting overwhelmed. X-Finest on 15.
What can you do about that when Snacks just decides, you know what, I'm going to run for the smoke, kill the AWPer, and then just jump kill Kraken? Like, what can you do about that realistically?
Pray that it doesn't happen again, and hopefully the next map arrives soon.
Like, he jumps, I'm pretty sure he just... Yeah, he kills in midair. Unlucky. Technical pause. Oh, Ecstatic got a technical pause. 6-15. They need to win 9 in a row flawlessly if they want to come back. This is not the Ecstatic that I assumed I would see today. Salazar had a very, very quiet T side. I'm not sure if he's got a kill yet on the T side. Maybe 1. But he's this is not the debut that you'd want to be seeing after Ecstatic. We haven't seen play for a while. They had a really good start to the year, qualifying and doing quite well for things like the RMR, for instance. And sorry, when I say year, I mean like the last 3 months when they've had this new squad, when they brought in the core of Masonic, Kragan, Cabby, and Queenix to join the likes of Manx on who was rebuilding the roster, and then you had Brazer, who was the old Astralis talent, Orpa, who's recently been replaced, as we've been talking about. They had a good start as a squad, as a core, and since it just hasn't quite had that same resounding effect. And X-Finest, almost like on the flip side, they fell off while Ecstatic were doing well, and now they're back again doing well.
Yeah. It's currently looking like Ecstatic are indeed going to get 6 rounds, so I'm happy about this, somewhat. I'm at least correct to my guess, which was a complete gamble, but I feel like Ecstatic, they can't really care about this map too much, and they're going to have to look at Vertigo in order to contest just that little bit to try and bring it to a third. Well, I think those 10 minutes in between are enough to shake off a loss like this. You're able to step outside, go for a tiny little walk, either outside your garden or whatever. At least step out of the room that you're currently losing, and to get rid of that atmosphere and refresh yourself for the very next map. But it's not technically over, even though it kind of is.
I believe. You know what?
Shut
I
up.
feel like they can do this. But yeah, no, I do agree. I feel like, especially so, Ecstatic, these core, I was talking about Masonic just grind they put in. I feel like they're still very inexperienced when it comes to top level of gameplay, but god damn are they experienced in playing officials. So I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem, and I think will be able to quite easily shut this off.
Yeah, I doubt that you're able to turn into a professional player without a mentality like that. If you're going to be stuck up on...
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
Like, overall, you do need a strong mentor, or at least be able to shake it off, because otherwise, also in a team environment, yes, you might still function when you're absolutely livid and you want to punch your monitor 3 times over, but others are going to be affected by that as well. So usually it's not a positive team environment.
Oh yeah, like if you've got someone sitting next to you just going down the mic every 3 seconds, like that's probably the most demoralizing thing you could ever have in your life. Like, without even a shadow of a doubt, that's awful to have in that team atmosphere. But it does come to a stage, it's like, and I think it's especially for someone like Manx, he has got these younger players under him. I think Cabby is maybe the exception. He has got a lot of experience within the Danish scene, playing for the likes of AGF and Lyngby Vikings for quite a while. And honestly, same with Queenix. He's played in and around the scene since like 2020. But I think especially looking at Kragan, even though he's gained like over the last year, maybe year and a half, gained so much experience.
I love Montana, but I'm doing this for our family.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
Ruin them, starting with her.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
I do this for my father. I don't do this for me.
We give everything to this land. And I do mean everything.
Je peux faire ça toute la journée, Alfonso. Impressionnant. Mais moi, j'aime bien régler des dossiers en même temps.
Que ce soit pour terminer votre jeu vidéo ou commencer un marathon de films, il y a plein de raisons de rester à la maison. Une chance, il y a la Mec Livraison. Pour les moments où vous n'avez pas envie de vous lever ou quand c'est impossible de vous lever. La Mec Livraison aime les soirées à la maison.
The mists have proven far more treacherous than we could have imagined. It's here. We've found it.
Brazilian.
Discover what lies beyond the veil.
Sur PokerStars, Breton aime rester connecté aux tables.
Let's get into it.
Alors, quelle que soit votre façon de jouer, vous trouverez votre compte.
We got him.
Place au jeu.
This gives you the power to gift your data.
Les serres, là, je trouve que c'est une belle façon pour les Québécois de pouvoir manger à l'année puis d'encourager les producteurs tout en favorisant les circuits courts. Là.
Il doit y avoir plusieurs futurs ingénieurs qui en ce moment regardent ça. Puis dis-moi aussi, je trippe sur l'environnement. Comment le génie s'implique dans l'environnement?
Il s'implique de plein de façons.
Meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
My boy, you know, my boy Daniel, don't want to be, don't want to be throwing shade to him.
Okay, I'm gonna get a right punching in the gut in the break,
bro.
mate.
At LAN, I'm gonna beat you up because of your insults to my king. But, yeah, I think this is a big stop at momentum though. Like X Finest, you know, they're kind of chilling. Like they're obviously still going to win the game, but it's more like this momentum going to the second map. I feel like definitely has been just maybe reduced just a little bit. But yeah, I think we have I think we have got an extended pause here, so we will be showing it to a short break. Do not go too far, guys, because we will be back very, very soon.